The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Dr. Elena Vasquez stepped forward, her worn medical coat a stark contrast to the gleaming armor and ceremonial robes of the assembled delegates. The human ambassador looked small and fragile among the towering Zephyrians, the crystalline ethereals, and the armored Korthax warriors. "The human wishes to speak," announced Chancellor Vextar, his multiple eyes gleaming with barely concealed amusement. "How quaint." Elena ignored the ripple of condescending laughter that echoed through the chamber. She had heard it all before, during her medical residency on Proxima Station, during her humanitarian missions to war-torn worlds, and now here at the most important gathering in galactic history. "Honored delegates," she began, her voice steady despite the magnitude of what she was about to propose. "I come before you not as a warrior or a politician, but as a healer. The Devourer fleet approaches our outer colonies, and in 6 standard months, they will reach the core worlds. I believe there is another way to stop them, without the proposed mass extinction protocol." The laughter grew louder. General Thrakamore of the Korthax slammed his gauntleted fist against his seat. "The human speaks of healing while reality demands destruction. The Devourers consume everything, matter, energy, even thought itself. Only the Omega weapons can stop them." "Weapons that will sterilize half the galaxy," Elena countered, "including billions of innocent lives on worlds that happen to be in the blast radius." "Acceptable casualties," hissed Ambassador Silthan of the Void Syndicate. "Better some die than all perish. Your species' obsession with preserving individual lives is a weakness, human. It will doom us all." Elena had expected this reaction. Humans were the newest members of the Galactic Council, barely 3 centuries since first contact. Their reputation for what other species called irrational compassion preceded them everywhere, while other civilizations had evolved beyond such primitive emotions. Humans stubbornly clung to concepts like mercy, sacrifice for strangers, and the value of individual life. "You call it weakness," Elena said, reaching into her coat. "I call it strength." She withdrew a small, crystalline device that pulsed with an inner light none of the assembled aliens had ever seen before. The chamber's energy readings spiked, immediately causing security systems to blare warnings. "What is that device?" Chancellor Vextar demanded, his casual demeanor evaporating. "This," Elena said, holding up the crystal, "is what we discovered when we truly understood what drives us to help others. Your scientists have long wondered how humans consistently produce individuals willing to die for complete strangers. You've theorized it's a genetic defect, an evolutionary dead end." The crystal's glow intensified, and several delegates stepped back in alarm. "You were wrong. Our compassion isn't a weakness. It's a quantum field generator. Every act of selfless kindness, every moment when a human chooses another's welfare over their own survival, creates a measurable disturbance in the fabric of space-time itself." Elena's fingers danced over the device's surface, and holographic displays materialized throughout the chamber, showing incomprehensible equations and energy patterns. "For millennia, we've been unconsciously tapping into what our physicists now call the empathy field, a dimension of reality that your species, in your pursuit of logical efficiency, have completely severed yourselves from. It's the source of what you might call divine power." The ethereal delegate's crystalline form resonated with alarm. "Impossible. We have scanned human neural patterns for centuries. There is no evidence of psionic capability. "Because you were looking in the wrong dimension," Elena replied. "The power doesn't come from our minds, it comes from our hearts, quite literally. The quantum resonance of emotional sacrifice opens doorways that pure logic cannot even perceive." She activated the device fully, and the entire chamber was bathed in warm, golden light. The assembled delegates gasped as they felt something they had never experienced, a sense of connection, of belonging, of being truly cared for by another being. "This is just a fraction of what one human can channel," Elena continued. "But we're not here to demonstrate superiority. We're here to offer alliance. The Devourers aren't just consuming matter and energy. They're consuming hope, joy, love itself. They're wounds in reality that can only be healed by the one force they cannot devour: genuine compassion." General Thrackmore, his usual belligerence, replaced by wonder, asked, "How many humans would be required for such an undertaking?" "Just one." Elena smiled sadly. "But it would require the voluntary sacrifice of that individual's life force, not in death, but in becoming a living conduit for the empathy field. They would spend eternity holding back the darkness, feeling the pain of every being the Devourers have ever consumed, bearing it all so others might live." The chamber fell into stunned silence. "And you would do this?" Chancellor Vexitar asked quietly. Elena nodded. "That's what we do. That's what makes us human. We choose love over logic, compassion over survival, hope over despair, even when it seems foolish to everyone else." As she spoke, more humans entered the chamber. Doctors, teachers, engineers, artists, all volunteers who had felt the call when Elena had sent out the message. Hundreds of them, each carrying the same crystalline device, each ready to make the ultimate sacrifice. "You see," Elena said, her voice carrying across the now silent assembly, "you've spent so long avoiding the weakness of caring that you forgot caring can move mountains, part seas, and yes, even heal wounds in reality itself." The Galactic Council, for the first time in its history, voted unanimously. And in the depths of space, the Devourer fleet encountered something they had never faced before. A force that grew stronger when opposed, that thrived on sacrifice, and that could not be consumed because it freely gave of itself. They met the power of human kindness, and found it was indeed the power of gods.